In the shadowy corners of Japan's ancient forests and forgotten alleyways, tales of supernatural encounters have been whispered for centuries. These stories, passed down through generations, speak of mysterious creatures known as yokai, spirits and monsters that blur the line between our world and the realm of the unknown. But what happens when these legends step out of folklore and into reality? Today, we delve into the chilling accounts of those who claim to have come face to face with these enigmatic beings, from the mist-shrouded mountains to the bustling streets of modern cities. These encounters have left witnesses shaken and questioning everything they thought they knew about the world around them. Our first tale takes us to the remote village of Shirakawago, nestled in the Japanese Alps. Here, amidst the traditional thatched roof houses, a local farmer named Hiroshi Tanaka swears he encountered the infamous kappa, a water-dwelling yokai, known for its mischievous nature and appetite for human flesh. Tanaka recounts, "I was tending to my rice paddies at dusk when I heard a strange splashing sound. As I turned, I saw a creature, no taller than a child, with scaly green skin and a bowl-shaped depression on its head filled with water. Its eyes glowed like embers in the fading light. Before I could react, it vanished into the nearby stream, leaving only ripples in its wake." The farmer's description matches perfectly with the traditional depiction of the kappa in Japanese folklore. But could this encounter be more than just a trick of the light or an overactive imagination? Moving from the countryside to the heart of Tokyo, we find the story of Yumi Nakamura, a young office worker whose late-night commute turned into a terrifying ordeal. Nakamura claims to have encountered the tick-tick, a vengeful spirit said to drag itself along on its hands, its lower body severed at the waist. "I was waiting for the last train when I heard a strange scraping sound," Nakamura recalls, her voice trembling. "At first I thought it was just the wind, but then I saw her. A woman, crawling impossibly fast along the platform, her legs missing. Her face was twisted in a grotesque smile, and as she approached, I heard a sound like tick-a-tick-a-tick. I've never run so fast in my life." Nakamura's account sent shockwaves through the local community, with many avoiding the station after dark for weeks following the incident. Urban legends are not. The fear these stories instill is very real. Our journey into the world of yokai sightings takes an even darker turn as we explore the case of the Kuchisakuna, or slit-mouthed woman. This particular yokai is said to wear a surgical mask, approaching victims with the question, "Am I pretty?" Remove her mask, and you'll find her mouth slit from ear to ear in a horrifying grin. In the city of Osaka, a group of high school students claim to have encountered this terrifying figure on their way home from cram school. One of the students, who wishes to remain anonymous, describes the chilling experience. "We were walking down a poorly lit street when we saw a woman in a long coat and surgical mask. She asked us if we thought she was pretty. We were about to answer when one of my friends noticed something off about her eyes. They were too wide, too intense. We ran, and as we did, we heard her laughing behind us. It wasn't a human laugh." The Kuchisakuna legend has persisted in Japan for decades, with reported sightings spiking periodically. Psychologists attribute these encounters to mass hysteria and the power of suggestion. But for those who claim to have seen her, the terror is all too real. Not all yokai encounters are quite so malevolent. However, in the hot spring town of Beppu, an elderly couple swears they were aided by a group of Zashiki Warushi, childlike spirits known to bring good fortune to the homes they inhabit. Keiko and Masao Yamada, both in their 80s, tell of a night when they became disoriented while walking home from a local festival. "We were lost, and it was getting cold," Keiko explains. "Suddenly, we saw these children, maybe 5 or 6 of them, giggling and beckoning us to follow. They led us right to our doorstep, but when we turned to thank them, they had vanished into thin air." The Yamadas insist that these were no ordinary children, describing them as having an otherworldly glow and wearing clothing that seemed out of place in the modern era. While skeptics might dismiss their story as the confusion of an elderly couple, the Yamadas remain convinced that they were guided home by benevolent yokai. Perhaps one of the most intriguing cases in recent years comes from the forests of Eyo, infamously known as the suicide forest at the base of Mount Fuji. Here, a group of hikers claims to have encountered the Tengu, a long-nosed, winged creature often depicted as a protector of the mountains. Lead hiker Takeshi Mori recounts their experience. We had strayed from the marked path and were hopelessly lost as night fell. The forest seemed to close in around us, and we could hear strange whispers on the wind. That's when we saw it. A tall figure with red skin and a long, beak-like nose. It carried a fan made of feathers and seemed to float above the ground. It pointed us in a direction, and though we were terrified, we followed. Miraculously, we found our way back to the trail. Mori and his companions emerged from the forest shaken but unharmed. Their story quickly spread, reigniting interest in the legends of the Tengu and their role as guardians of sacred places. As we explore these accounts, it's natural to question their validity. Are these genuine encounters with supernatural beings, or simply the product of overactive imaginations fueled by centuries of folklore? Skeptics argue that many of these sightings can be explained by natural phenomena, misidentification of animals, or even deliberate hoaxes. Yet for those who claim to have witnessed these yokai firsthand, the experiences are undeniably real. The fear, wonder, and confusion they describe paint a vivid picture of encounters that defy rational explanation. Perhaps the truth lies somewhere in between, a blending of ancient beliefs with the human tendency to seek meaning in the unexplained. In a rapidly modernizing world, these yokai sightings serve as a reminder of Japan's rich spiritual heritage and the enduring power of its myths and legends. Whether you believe in the existence of yokai or not, these stories continue to captivate and terrify in equal measure. They speak to our fascination with the unknown and our desire to believe that there is more to this world than meets the eye. As night falls across Japan, from Tenyan-lit streets of Tokyo to the mist-shrouded mountains of the countryside, who knows what strange encounters await in the shadows? The next time you find yourself alone in an unfamiliar place, listen closely. That whisper on the wind or movement in the corner of your eye might just be a yokai, stepping out of legend and into our world.